Finding the gifts in Alzheimer's disease is a challenge millions of people face. Every year, the need for education, compassion, and connection grows larger.
Ron and Deborah's stories about Alzheimer's have a message that cannot be conveyed or received in any better way. The stories are beautiful and wrought with genuine compassion.
Ron Zoglin and Deborah Schaus are writers and performers with a special interest in Alzheimer's. Their stories deal with the complex issues of loss and change, of flexibility and acceptance, and of celebrating the moments.
Leaving the purse behind.
I want a divorce.
The long-distance call from my father comes at 4 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon.
Your mother and I can no longer live together, and I'm going to get a divorce.
This is why my father wants a divorce.
Things are changing.
My mother, Fran,
is snappy, forgetful, and damn irritating. She misplaces everything so many times a day, it's like trying to round up the toys of a 2-year-old.
Dad plans a nice day for them, dinner, movies, the kind of day they both love.
She sabotages it. First, she can't find her swimsuit, which for 40 years has always lived in the top right-hand drawer of the dresser.
Then her swim cap is gone.
She can't leave the house without taking a drink of water.
Then, by the time she walks to the door, she needs another drink of water. There is still that sweetness, that wonderful connection they have always shared.
But the smoothness of their life together is gone.
At any moment, a hesitation,
a stubbornness,
a lost item,
a repeated question.
A repeated question.
What was it you said?
For the 4th and 5th time, jars my father into anxiety and confusion. The losing and finding rituals make it almost impossible to leave the house
without wanting to shout.
People were mesmerized by Deborah and Ron's stories. Deborah and Ron capture the essence of what makes us human, despite our abilities or disabilities. Your performance touched us all. I have never seen CEOs and CFOs sit so still on the edge of their chairs before, then reach for their handkerchiefs by the end of the performance.
The answer is Tom Cruise.
Years after my parents' almost encounter with Tom Cruise, my dad is considering Mr. Cruise as one in a series of possible saviors, people, places, or events that can release my mother from her Alzheimer's prison and liberate her back into the woman she used to be.
I believe that when your mother sees Tom Cruise on the screen, she will know who he is and remember the evening we saw him.
Dad tells me, as we watch Mom get up to fold and refold a pillowcase, she pulls the blue-ribbed bedspread half up on the other bed, sits down, stands up, and pulls on the bedspread again. Mom doesn't even know who I am half the time. I tell my father, I'm going to be very upset if she recognizes Tom Cruise.
I think she will recognize him.
Caregivers, family friends, healthcare professionals, and spiritual ministries have all benefited from listening to their programs.
At a recent performance, one attendee said, "The emotional impact made it so meaningful and memorable, I now feel like I could embrace Alzheimer's in my loved one."
Love in the Land of Dementia.
For so many of us, words are important.
We need and want to talk about who we are and how we feel.
As my mother's Alzheimer's worsened, I realized that sometimes we need to go beyond words and be reminded the heart is bigger, larger, and more abundant than the rational mind.
When all the words are gone,
There is still so much we can give, and it is possible to even find
love in the land of dementia.
With Mom's advancing Alzheimer's, much has been lost.
Rising up and sitting down are complicated events of gymnastic proportion.
All foodstuffs are foreign substances.
Dressing, conversing, bathing, teeth brushing, all the events of everyday life
Are neatly erased from Mom's scope. But when my dad walks in, for a moment, she remembers this is her husband.
For those seconds, happiness floods her.
Maybe this is the lesson we are all to learn eventually.
In the end, only love remains.
Ron and Deborah have performed for Alzheimer's associations and caregivers groups in the United States, New Zealand, Nova Scotia, and Italy.
At a performance in Halifax, one of the Alzheimer's board members said, "This is the most meaningful 40-minute presentation on Alzheimer's I have ever experienced."
Bravissimo! Manlio Matera, co-founder of the Alzheimer's Society of Florence, Italy.
These stories are amazing. I repeat, amazing. Fiona Kirkpatrick Parsons, Director, Development and Communications, Alzheimer's Society of Nova Scotia.
Deborah's writings on Alzheimer's have appeared in Woman's Day, The Washington Post, The Kansas City Star, Spirituality and Health, More Magazine, and Chicken Soup for the Caregiver's Soul.